Thank you for joining us back here on Just Conspiracy, where we just wish to say, never forget that Larry Silverstein made close to $7 billion off the attacks on 9/11. It's not a conspiracy theory, it's a business practice. Now, on 9/11, for everybody who's about my age, or older, at least my age, we all remember what it was like to have freedoms. We all remember what it was like before 9/11 happened. And 9/11 was a tragic day because we all knew, here in America, we knew two things for sure. We knew that we were going to start losing our rights and that we were going to go get some terrorists because we all got together to fight the terrorists. Now we're all getting together to fight each other. And I don't even know why we're giving up our rights anymore. That's a question I beg to ask for this episode. Anyways, thanks for joining us here on Just Conspiracy, where we just wish to conspire to bring heaven down to earth. We're about to get into some audio. I went to an appellate court. It was about me. Okay? And I had over 18 different rights that they violated at the kangaroo trial they held before my abduction. And the first audio you're going to hear is going to be listing all of those rights out. It'll take about 3 minutes. Thank you for sticking with us.
Violation of religious freedom, denied my right to be equal before law.
Well, I mean, the main ones that I'm standing on is that I was denied my right to a trial by jury. I was denied my right to counsel. I was denied my right to have be presumed innocent. Basically, I was denied my right to be proven guilty beyond a shadow of a doubt, beyond a reasonable doubt, because there was no certified documents placed onto the record from the DMV, at least not any that I'm aware of. There was none of those presented before the trial court, and we either have these rights or we don't. And Sutherland himself, in his response to the appeal, stated very clearly that I did not waive any of my rights, and that I wish to move by due process every step of the way.
Okay. All right, then I'm going to stand on your answer. I think it pretty much covers everything. I saw the violation of the right to a jury, violation of right to counsel, violation of your right to face your accuser, a violation to plead or on my own accord.
A violation of knowing the facts to the case before I have to make a plea.
Violation of right to know and understand the nature of the wrong and cause of accusation. I'm not sure I understand the excessive fine.
Well,
$647.
and I believe the limit set by the legislature is $300. I believe that the magistrate has a jurisdictional limit up to $500, but that is waived on a DUS second and third.
Okay, well, I can tell you that's not their limit, okay? I also have cruel, unusual, and corporal punishment and subject to imprisonment for death. Right to judicial review. You were denied your right to paper, pen, and ink. But in your next breath, you said you did receive paper, pen, and ink, but you still lack court access. You never received notice of the suspension.
Okay, here's what happened. My license got suspended because I showed up to court 3 times and nobody would prosecute me. Nobody even showed up to prosecute me. And this is absolutely ridiculous because here's the government, they have infinite resources. And they still waste people's time like that. See, if you or I were taking a suit through the court and we didn't show up to prosecute, they'd throw it out, say failure to prosecute. Ha ha. But when they do it, it's fine. It's okay for some reason. So I didn't know my license was suspended. And then I was leaving my buddy's house. I wasn't even driving. And this cop comes up and arrests me for not driving when I did not have a license. And then I go to court like, hey, this is going to be easy enough. Due process, all that good jazz. I wasn't even really caring about arguing about the fact I didn't have any notice, because that's the law. They should know that. But you heard all of those rights. The right to face my accuser. The right to know the nature of the wrong and the cause of the accusation. The right to have counsel. The right to have a trial by jury. The right to be presumed innocent and not guilty. And because they found me guilty and there's absolutely no evidence on the record of the court that I'm guilty, I would think this would be a slam dunk. I would think this would be about as easy as it could get. So this last part that I'm going to play for you, or this next audio, this is the same judicial officer that just read off all the rights that I was talking about. Same judicial officer, same hearing, and this is an appellate case. This is on appeal. And there are a couple of places where I added in the audio from the trial court. I'm sure that you'll be able to figure that out. And then you get to hear her. And you get to see how much the government respects and upholds your rights. How much the judicial officers respect and uphold your rights. How honest they are. Because that's why we're all here, right? That's why we're all here.
I'm gonna grant the state's motion. I'm gonna dismiss it, on several grounds.
Yes, ma'am.
Not only not timely, but most of this is meritless. Because the record itself shows that he was offered a jury trial.
Okay? You will have plenty of time to talk, but right now I know nothing about this case. I know nothing about the facts, and you've asked that the facts be read into the record. So
Okay, and I just wish to be clear, I have not pled.
I'm entering a plea on your behalf.
I'm not consenting to a bench trial. All I'm doing is wishing to establish the accuser and to know the facts so that I can plead on my own behalf.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. Do you want a jury trial?
I wish to move according to due process of law.
Okay, so you do not want a jury trial?
I'm not saying that I do not want a jury trial.
Okay.
He elected not to have that. He was also a question about a lawyer.
Okay, so he has a privilege that the rest of us don't have.
You have the right to represent yourself, so without a law degree as well.
I don't know how to represent myself. I'm just here
Okay, so
present.
are you asking to be appointed an attorney?
I'm not.
Okay, so are you waiving your right to have an attorney present?
I'm not waiving any rights.
Okay.
He went forward. The violation of religious freedom, I do not believe is a meritorious claim. I'm gonna ask you, Mr. Thompson, if you could draft me a proposed order of dismissal.
Yes, ma'am.
I would appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am. We will get that to you. Would you like us to send that to your law clerk or?
If you'd send it to my law clerk,
Yes, ma'am.
because I'd like to go over it and I want to make sure that I've got each and every one of these allegations that he's alleged. I'd like to make sure they're all answered.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I went through it, I went through this case twice. And I just didn't see a ground, for appeal.
Yes, ma'am. We'll prepare that order and submit it to you.
Thank you, Mr. Thompson, I appreciate that. Thank you, Ms. Morris. And thank you, Mr. Cross. I hope y'all have a good weekend.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're not welcome. You're not welcome. Did you hear that? Your right to face your accuser, your right to know the nature of the wrong and the cause of the accusation, your right to be presumed innocent, your right to know the facts of what you did before you get charged, before you enter into some sort of trial, your right to due process is meritless. It has absolutely no merit in the eyes of the courts and the government. In the eyes of the statue idols they create. There's absolutely no grounds to appeal on. And apparently, with the way that they interpret it, you having the right to an attorney is them going, do you want an attorney? Oh, you don't want an attorney right now? You don't get one. You lost that right. We're going to take that right away from you now. Your right to a trial by jury. Do you want a trial by jury? We haven't even established there's anything to have a trial about. Here's how due process works, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody goes down to the courthouse and they say, that blonde kid over there did me wrong. And then the courthouse drags me in. And I say, why am I here? What did I do? And the other guy who dragged me in says, you did X, Y, and Z, and I'm accusing you of doing X, Y, and Z, and here's what you got to do to make it right. Are you going to do it? And then I can say, I'm guilty, I'm not guilty, I did it, but it's a matter of law, which is called a demur. But the first thing that has to happen is they got to put facts on the record for you to know what's going on. It's kind of like me just going, hey, are you guilty or not guilty? You want a bench trial or a jury trial? Bench trial or jury trial? Guilty or not guilty? Well, what did I do, man? What? I don't know if I'm guilty or not guilty. What do you think I did? What do you think I'm guilty or not guilty of? Well, you get to figure that out when you decide whether you want a trial or a bench trial or a jury trial, and after you tell me that you're guilty or not guilty. That's how silly that is. So I go to court. To be honorable, they asked me to come to court. Okay, let's go to court. Let's do this. What did I do? Well, we're going to move into a bench trial, and I'm going to say you're not guilty. I'm going to enter that plea on your behalf. I spent at least 10 minutes arguing with him, like, no, we're not going into a trial. I just want to know what I did. Ask that guy a couple of questions. That's all. That's where you heard me talking about, no, I'm not willing to do a trial. You want a jury trial? I don't even know there's anything to have a trial about. I really don't. If people don't do something about this now, it's gone forever. It's gone forever. Now, the next audio I'm going to play you is from the actual trial court when I realized at the end he was thinking we were having a trial the whole time. Let's take a listen.
Okay. So you made a motion to dismiss based on a lack of explanation of the charges.
Well, it's really a motion because the first motion, the only motion that you can make without entering into the court's jurisdiction is a motion to dismiss on the lack of jurisdiction, on jurisdiction not being established. And in this particular case, my reason for the jurisdiction not being established is that it is impossible for me to know what the nature of the wrong and the cause of the accusation is if the accuser and witness himself cannot articulate that before the court.
All right, your motion is denied. I think this court has proper personal jurisdiction in that the traffic stop occurred in Greenville County. And as far as subject matter jurisdiction is proper, being that this, both of these citations fall within the jurisdiction of the magistrate court. So that motion is denied. Do you have any other motions, or would you like to call any witnesses? I believe you indicated that you did not wish to testify.
I didn't indicate that I did not wish to testify.
Okay, do you wish to testify?
I did state that I did not wish to proceed with a bench trial or a jury trial this time, so I believe that you are going to enter in a not guilty plea on my behalf.
I did at the beginning, and I said that you could change that if you wanted to at any time. So right now, your plea is not guilty, and you have the right to present a defense. You also have the right not to present a defense, okay? So at this time, if any defense that you have, this is the appropriate time to present it.
Is this a trial?
Yes, this is a trial.
So I'm being denied my right to have a trial by jury.
No, I asked you at the beginning if you wanted to have a trial by jury.
You asked me if I wished to waive my right to a trial by jury, and I said I did not wish to waive my right to a trial by
And
jury.
I asked you if you wished to proceed with this proceeding, and you said you did.
And I thought I was as clear as I could possibly be that I did not wish to proceed with a bench trial, that I just wished to proceed with trying to get an understanding of the nature of the wrong and the cause of the accusation against me.
Okay. This is a bench trial, okay? There is no waiver of your right to a bench trial and a jury trial in order to hear some type of explanation of your charges, okay? You have heard the charges presented against you. It is now time for you to present your defense. So, what defense do you have?
There's nothing to defend. Literally, you cannot tell me the nature of the wrong or the cause of the accusation. You're saying I'm in trouble for not doing anything wrong. How am I supposed to defend not doing anything wrong? How am I supposed to defend not knowing what the nature of the wrong is or the cause of the accusation? And you entered a plea on my behalf. You were practicing law from the bench. You are not my attorney. I told you I would plea as soon as I heard that he didn't know the nature of the wrong or the cause of the accusation. Think about that. Think about that, because that's all of your rights right there. For all of you people who are all big on the Second Amendment, you don't have a Second Amendment if they can drag you in for doing nothing wrong, throw you in jail, and you don't have any due process. Go ahead and presume you guilty. I enter a not guilty plea on your behalf, but you can change that anytime you want. Okay, great. I'm going to change it to, why don't you throw it out for being BS because you can't explain the nature of the wrong and the cause of the accusation. What about that one? Let's change it to that plea. "9/11's turning 21 today. I hope it doesn't get so drunk we lose the rest of the little rights we have left. I got an idea of how we could get it all back, but it's going to take people actually working together. It's a foolproof idea. All people have to do is wish to have their rights more than they want to take away other people's rights. That's it. If people were just there, I would have a foolproof plan on how we get the government acting correctly and get back on track. And the other part of this plan is first, getting this YouTube channel monetized. So if you could help us out by commenting, liking, sharing, and I know that YouTube censors me as much as they can. I know I'm blacklisted. I know that most of the people who write comments, their comments do not even appear. But we have to start talking about this stuff with each other. People should be in groups, trying to comment and see if the other people in that group can see their comments. We got to catch them watching us, watching them watching us. And seriously, I've said this since I was making the videos about Greg Newman. The only way this is going to work is if we all start talking with the people we love and care about it. And if we don't, we're all going to lose the people we love and care about, because we're all going to be enslaved to the government, to the new economic order, the Great Reset, whatever you want to call it, 2030. We have the choice to follow our hearts and our Creator to bring heaven down to earth, or to fight with each other and destroy everything we have. We are just conspiracy, and we just wish to conspire to bring heaven down to earth. One world, love, and peace.
"1993, World Trade Center bombing, remember? During the trial, one of the bombers claimed the CIA had advanced knowledge. The diplomat who issued the terrorist visa was CIA. It's not unthinkable they paved the way for the bombing purely to justify a budget increase.
You're telling me that you're gonna fake some terrorist thing just to scare some money out of Congress?
Well, unfortunately, Mr. Hennessy, I have no idea how to fake killing 4,000 people. So we're just gonna have to do it for real. Oh, blame it on the Muslims, naturally. Then I get my funding. Good night, old girl.